Town Archers seem to be the true winners of this upcoming update. If you're wondering why, in this video I will give you not just one, but 4 examples why that is so, why they are enjoying this upcoming update. Reason number 1 is that after the update, the Town Archer section of the skill tree will be changed from this to this, which will potentially reduce the amount of skill points that you need to run your Town Archers by 7 skill points. And that is a lot of skill points you can use elsewhere in the skill tree to reach other sections of the skill tree or buff your other units for the build. So that's a lot of skill points less needed after the update to run the Town Archers effectively. The second reason is the introduction of the 25 CDE cap. So after the update, the maximum amount of cooldown skill level +1 lines you can use in your build is 25. And with also the introduction of towers being able to use E-lines and cooldown skill level +1 lines, it just doesn't really make that much sense anymore to run both cannon and lightning cannon just so you can stack 4 CDE lines for your setup. Because you will be able to reach that max of 25 easily even without that. The reason number 3 applies more to the end game and Devilhorn 5, because the resistances in Devilhorn 5, they are extremely high. And while Town Archers are using the Cursed Knife, they deal non-elemental damage, which means they don't have to worry about elemental resistance of the monsters, which also makes it kinda easier for you to gain some damage through your Town Archers for the Devilhorn 5 setup. So I would say most builds will probably wanna run Town Archers in Devilhorn 5, unless something is fundamentally changed in the upcoming update, but that just really seems to be the case. And finally, the fourth reason that seems a really interesting one to me is that Town Archers can now use different lines on your items as well than what they previously were able to. And not just that they can use critical chance lines after the update, but also 2 new red lines, boss damage and flying damage. Those can be now applied to Town Archers as well. So if you are equipping the Town Archers with L or E tier items that has flying damage or boss damage, they will also show up in their stats window respectively. And I know your next question, but no, the +1 arrow red line still does not work for the Town Archers, unfortunately, just the flying damage and boss damage. But that opens up a lot of new item line combinations that you can possibly look out for when you are looking for Town Archer items. So if you already have like perfect Town Archer items with damage and crit damage lines, 3 lines on each item, then you're probably good to go. You probably can chill and you don't have to do anything. But if you're still hunting for those optimal Town Archer items, you now have so many more options, like potential item line combinations that you can use, because you can also just take flying damage or boss damage for your Town Archers for your setup. And flying damage especially seems to be a really solid choice for potentially Hell mode, Town Archer Hell mode, so that should be a direct boost for your Town Archer Hell mode if you're running that. And boss damage, I'm sure, can be used, well, for farming, sure, but also maybe making your way per hour a little bit faster if the only thing that you need is faster boss killing. If you're needing more stability for your build, I would probably still keep on going with damage and crit damage items, but both of those are very solid lines that you can look out for your Town Archers after the update. Also, that means that the boss damage rune will also work for Town Archers, so you can also stack those on your Town Archer items if you feel you just need a little bit more boss damage. So whether you are in early game or late game, it just keeps on getting increasingly harder and harder to keep on ignoring Town Archers in your setups. And after the update drops, I will likely recreate the lightning and poison early game builds. But it seems like I will most likely be recommending Town Archers for both options. So if you're thinking of whether you should or should not invest in Town Archers, I would say now is a pretty damn good time to do so.